This is really difficult to speak on this bill, and it's very difficult to vote for it. I am voting for this bill because I sincerely believe, along with all of my Democratic colleagues, and I believe probably all of my Republican colleagues as well, that it is going to save women's lives who find themselves in a medical emergency. But this bill isn't just about abortion. This bill is an acknowledgement of how desperately fragile our personal rights and liberties are. Under the current order, Texans are no longer allowed to make the most fundamental of personal choices without governmental interference, even prosecution. Religious belief, academic inquiry, political expression, even decisions over your own body are now the realm of political control. With or without this bill, Texans can no longer decide for themselves whether, when, and with whom to have children. Every pregnancy must be taken to term unless a physician, if you can get to one, makes a determination that your life or your major bodily function is at risk. You cannot make this decision, little lady. You cannot make this decision. But a physician may be able to, under this narrow emergency medical exception. If your pregnancy falls outside of this politically determined exception, not medically determined, politically determined, you are a fugitive. If your pregnancy falls outside of this politically determined exception, you are on your own, trying to get to a territory that still provides you your right to determine whether, when, and with whom you have children. And anyone who helps you on your way is vulnerable to civil and even criminal prosecution for helping you. The sliver of hope this bill offers is that the dwindling number of Texas obstetrician and gynecologists who will still practice here will refine the circumstances that they find are dangerous to their patients' lives and major bodily functions, and that the Texas courts will corroborate these refinements. Texas women will be reliant on Texas doctors and Texas courts. Texas women will not have a say. This bill drives these cases of medical emergency into the realm of healthcare liability covered by physician insurance, and that is good. I want to believe this bill will make things better because it's hard to believe that things could be much worse. I believe that placing more insurable discretion in the hands of doctors responding to medical emergencies will save pregnant patients' lives, so I'm voting for this bill, even though it doesn't recognize fetal-fatal anomalies, rape, incest, teen pregnancy, the mental health of the patient, but neither does the current law. Even though it doesn't include the full scope of never viable ectopic pregnancies, but it's better verbiage than the current law. Even though it doesn't remove the threat of prosecution for doctors, nurses, friends, and family under existing state law. And my deepest thanks go to our powerful doctors and hospitals lobby for exerting the pressure necessary to get this clarity on medical exceptions. And my deepest thanks to the women who came forward to relive and retell the horrifying medical emergencies that they have faced. It is unfortunate that this bill gives relief to the doctors and does nothing for Texas women. As you yourself said, Senator Hall, who's not here, doctors could always perform abortions under a medical emergency as defined under Senate Bill 8. So this bill actually doesn't provide greater relief to Texas women. It just provides greater clarity and relief from liability for the physicians to act in the politically defined medical emergency. But that does nothing for Lauren Miller and her trisomy 18 pregnancy. It does nothing for Caitlin Cash and the skeletal dysplasia that her fetus had. It does nothing for Dr. Austin Denard, Samantha Cassiano, Lauren Van Fleet, Dee Allen, and Lauren Hall for their pregnancies with anencephaly. It does nothing for Jessica Bernardo, whose fetus had fetal anasarca. It does nothing for Amy Coronado or Taylor Edwards, whose fetus had I'm going to totally mispronounce this, encephalocele. And it does nothing for Kimberly Mazzano, whose fetus had limb-body wall complex. The narrow window is made clearer by this bill. In the desperate hope that this bill will get desperate women the care they deserve, I will vote for it. But this policy is no less cruel for being made more clear.